Just 3 days after people voted in Guinea-Bissau, everything changed. 3 days after a national election, soldiers took over. They stormed the president's palace, the place where the votes are counted, and the Ministry of the Interior. By the end of the day, the president, Umaro Sissoco Embaló, was arrested. The army said they were now in charge. Now, this was shocking and confusing. Coups like this have happened before in West Africa, of course, but this one is different. It came right after the people tried to elect their president. It makes you wonder what will happen next. Hello and welcome. You're watching Africa Insights with Hikmah, and today we will look into West Africa's latest coup and what it means for a nation that can't escape its cycle of violence. Stay with me and make sure to subscribe and like this video. Guinea-Bissau, a tiny coastal nation wedged between Senegal and Guinea, and one of Africa's most unstable governments, 9 coups since 1974 independence, known as cocaine trafficking hub, and no president has completed consecutive terms in 30 years. Since independence from Portugal in 1974, Guinea-Bissau has seen at least 9 coups and coup attempts. This one marked number 10. The man at the center of this time's chaos is President Umaro Sissoco Embaló, in power since 2020, and he claimed to have survived 3 coup attempts during his presidency. But now it looks like his luck ran out. Let's rewind to the election time. Sunday's vote seemed calm. Embaló faced off against opposition candidate Fernando Diaz da Costa, and 12 candidates total were in race. But there was a massive problem. The country's main opposition party, PAIGC, the party that won independence, was barred from running. Their leader, Domingos Simões Pereira, who lost to Embaló in a contested 2019 runoff, was struck from the ballot by the Supreme Court. The reason is they filed paperwork too late. International observers were already concerned the election's legitimacy was in doubt before a single vote was cast. Then on Tuesday, November 25th, before any official results were announced, both candidates declared victory. Embaló claimed he won with overwhelming support. Diaz also claimed victory. Zero proof from either side. The National Electoral Commission was supposed to release provisional results on November 27th. Gunfire erupted across Bissau. Witnesses reported shooting near 3 critical locations: the National Electoral Commission headquarters, the Presidential Palace, and the Interior Ministry. President Embaló was arrested inside his office at the Presidential Palace, and he wasn't alone. Also detained General Biag Na Natan, Chief of Staff of the Armed Forces, General Mamadou Touré, Deputy Chief of Staff, and Boche Kande, Interior Minister. Here is the surprising part. The coup was led by Brigadier General Denis Nikanha, the very man in charge of protecting President Embaló as head of his presidential guard. Instead of guarding the president, he arrested him. The group behind the takeover called themselves the High Military Command for the Restoration of National Security and Public Order. They wasted no time making their demands clear. The election process is suspended. All borders by land and air are closed. A strict curfew starts overnight, and the military has full control. Nikanha claimed the military uncovered a secret plan to destabilize the country. He pointed fingers at some politicians and drug traffickers, both local and foreign, accusing them of trying to smuggle weapons to break the country's constitutional order. That drug reference is not random, because Guinea-Bissau has become a major transit hub for South American cocaine heading to Europe. In September alone, authorities seized 2.6 tons of cocaine from Venezuela. The country's been nicknamed Africa's first narco-state. The military claimed they were stopping electoral manipulation and drug-fueled chaos. In Guinea-Bissau, the military has always been the real power. I mean, presidents come and go, the army remains. Since independence, Guinea-Bissau has never had political stability. Embaló himself dissolved parliament in 2022, accusing them of orchestrating instability. He ruled by decree. He marginalized opponents. He claimed repeated coup attempts against him, including one just last month in October. But this time was different, right? This time, even his own presidential guard turned on him. Why? Many analysts believe the dual victory claims created an impossible situation with no clear winner and both sides refusing to back down. The military saw only one option: step in and take control. A joint statement from African Union and ECOWAS election observers who were literally in the country monitoring the vote denounced what they called a blatant attempt to disrupt the democratic process. So now the coup adds Guinea-Bissau to a growing list of West African nations experiencing military takeovers in recent years: Mali, Burkina Faso, Niger, Gabon. And by the way, since gaining independence in 1974, this small West African nation has been caught in a cycle of political chaos. Coups and power struggles have become almost part of its story, with military takeovers interrupting fragile attempts at democracy again and again. So when the military took control just 3 days after the recent presidential election, for the people, it was sadly familiar. Right now, the country is locked down, borders closed, curfews in place, and the military saying they are in full control. But it's not clear if they truly have the support of all armed forces or if they control the whole country. The election results, which people waited for, have been put on hold indefinitely. Looking back, history shows us that things could go different ways. Sometimes the military has stepped back after a short time, organizing new elections and handing power back to civilians, though this hasn't lasted long in the past. Other times, the military stays in charge for years, running a government that keeps the country stuck in uncertainty. And sometimes different groups within the military fight each other for control, plunging the nation deeper into chaos and making life even harder for ordinary people. No matter what happens next, the people of Guinea-Bissau face tough times ahead. History shows us it's a matter of when to see whether Guinea-Bissau will face another coup in the future. So what do you think will happen next in Guinea-Bissau? Let me know in the comments and subscribe for more. Thanks so much for watching and see you in the next one.